Hello students, welcome back to my channel. Today I am discussing the few exercises of class 8 chapter ecosystem, right? Now first here I'll write here, choose the correct option. Which of the following is a biotic component? Water, soil, plants, air. The correct option is plants. Plant is a biotic component. Snail is an herbivore, carnivore, omnivore or producer. Snail is a herbivore. Which of the following is a scavenger? Hawk, eagle, vulture. Here, hawk, eagle, vulture. All of these are scavengers. So, last option is the correct option. Which type of forests are located above the tropics? Tropical, boreal, temperate, none of these. Above the tropics, they are the tropical forest, right? Fauna includes plants only, insects only, all animals, flowers only. Fauna means all animals are present over there. Now see here, the next one, fill in the blanks. Plants are autotrophs. Here the word autotrophs in a habitat because they can make their own food, right? Two examples of decomposers in a habitat are bacteria and fungi. Clear? Animals that can eat plants only are called herbivores. An example is a cow. An omnivore can eat plants and animals. Next, rabbits, slugs, and green fly are examples of herbivores. They eat only plants. Now the next one, write T for true and F for false. The first one, sunlight is essential for photosynthesis. Yes, the statement is true. Decomposers are very important in an ecosystem. It is true because decomposers only various cycles are completed and plants can get back the nutrients. All animals do not depend on plants. It is a false. All animals directly or indirectly they depend on plants only. All the green plants are producers. Yes, it is a true. All green plants are producers. A food web consists of a number of interlinked food chains. It is true. Food web, when many links are interlinked food chains are termed as food web. Now the next, what is meant by an organism? Now here, I am here. See, what is meant by an environment of an organism? All that surrounds and affects the life of an organism, whether plant or animal, is its environment. All that surrounds and affects the life of an organism, whether plant or animal, is its environment. The next question is, what is an ecosystem? An ecosystem is a unit that consists of all organisms in a particular area interacting with one another and with their non-living surroundings. I hope it's clear. An ecosystem is a unit that consists of all organisms in a particular area interacting with one another and with their non-living surroundings. Clear? What is food chain? Various stages of eating and being eaten is called food chain. Various stages of eating and being eaten is called food chain. For example, grass, rabbit, fox. Next, give an example of a food chain that has 3 links. Now, 3 links, grass is eaten by cow is eaten by lion. This is the food chain with 3 links here. Now here, the next question, give an example of food chain with 4 links. With 4 links, grass Grass is eaten by insect. Insect is eaten by frog. Frog is eaten by the vulture or snake or hawk. Anyone it can be here. Grass, insect, frog, vulture or snake. Now the next one, suggest a reason why most food chains cannot have more than 4 to 5 links in the chain. Suggest a reason why most food chains cannot have more than 4 to 5 links in the chain. In a food chain, there is a stepwise decline. फूड चेन में जैसे जैसे आप स्टेप्स में आगे जाते हैं, एनर्जी हर लेवल में कम होती जाती है. एक लेवल से दूसरे लेवल में एनर्जी जाने पर फूड चेन में 10% एनर्जी इज ओनली ट्रांसफर्ड and 90% is lost. So when the animals they pass through it cannot be more than 4 or 5. Suppose, as you can say, lost energy when transferred to the next level. In a food chain, there is a stepwise decline of energy at each level, and only about 10% of energy get transferred to the next level and 90% is lost. Suppose producers, they have 20 joule. When producers were eaten by herbivores, then herbivores, they transfer from 20 joule, only 2 joule energy is transferred. Then from herbivores, when they were eaten by carnivores, then only 0.2 joule energy is transferred. When these carnivores were eaten by the large carnivores, then what happens? 0.02 joules of energy is transferred. So this shows that when we have more number, then as the number of transferring the energy, जितने ज़्यादा एनिमल्स होंगे फूड चेन में, तो हर लेवल पर एनर्जी ट्रांसफर जो होता है 90% लॉस होकर 10% ट्रांसफर होता है. तो जब 10% ट्रांसफर होगा तो 3-4 से ज़्यादा हो ही नहीं सकता बेटा, राइट. नाउ व्हाट इज द फूड वेब? Many interlinked food chain is called a food web. What is food web? Many interlinked food chain is called a food web. Explain the role of decomposers in maintaining the environment. What is the role of decomposers in maintaining the environment? The role of decomposers in maintaining the environment, first, they help in decomposing dead and decayed plants and animals. They help in decomposing dead and decayed plants and animals. They do so by digesting the dead tissues by enzymes and releasing the nutrients into the soil. And the next one, the nutrients released are reused by the plant. The nutrients released by decomposers, they are reused by plants. That is, they help in keeping the environment clean by recycling the nutrients. Who does all these things? Decomposers, basically they are bacteria and fungi, right? Now the next question, you have distinguish. How will you differentiate between producers and consumer? Now in producers, you can see a producer makes its own food. That is the grass and all green plants, they are the producers. Consumers, a consumer cannot make its own food. It eats plants or animals as in food. Now the next one, food chain and food web. When we ask various stages of eating and being eaten is called food chain. As grass is eaten by deer is eaten by the lion. Food web, many interlinked food chain is called food web. Grass is eaten by grasshopper is eaten by frog is eaten by the snake is eaten by the eagle. Or the grasshopper eaten by the rat is eaten by the snake. Or rat is eaten. So many chains are interlinking with each of them. This is called as food web. Now the next one, herbivores and carnivores. Herbivores are the animals that eat plants only. For example, rabbit, sheep, cow, buffalo, goat, they are all herbivores. Carnivore is an animal that eat flesh or other animals as fox, hawks, wolves, ladybird, tiger, lion, all these ones, they are carnivores, right? Now here you see the next given figure, a diagram of the garden food web. Now here you see it is a garden food web. Use the information in the diagram. List as many types of animals you can see. Now animals you can see, first we can see here slug, then here we can see here caterpillar, then you can see here green fly, we can see ladybird, we can see thrush, and we can see snail. So how many animals? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is slug, caterpillar, green fly, ladybird, thrush, and snail. These animals we can see. What is the most common plant in the diagram? The common plant, that is the green grass. Green grass is there, cabbages are there, and this the rose bush is there. Name 2 producers in the diagram. Cabbages, rose bush, or grass. Any 2 you can write over here. From the write down 3 different food chains. Means first you can see here grass. Grass is eaten by the snail. Snail is eaten by the thrush. Second, grass. Grass is eaten by the green fly. Green fly is eaten by the ladybird, and ladybird is eaten by the thrush. Now the cabbages are eaten by the caterpillar. Caterpillar is eaten by the thrush. So these are the 3 different food chains. One example of competitor from the word. Competitors means at the same level. Same level, slug and caterpillar is a competitor. You can see a slug and competitor. And here green fly and snail, they are the competitor. Green fly and snail, they are the competitor, and slug and this caterpillar, they are the competitor, right? Now here, explain the role of decomposers. We have discussed already. Match the column of the following animals. Animals, they comes under biotic components. Animals, biotic component. Light, abiotic. Lithosphere, rocks. Hydrosphere, water. Plants, autotrophs. Plants are autotrophs, right? Distinction, we have already had producers, consumer, we have discussed. The gas which prevents the entry of ultraviolet on the earth, that is ozone gas. Ozone layer that prevents ultraviolet rays to prevent from the earth. Process by which green plants make their own food, that is photosynthesis. 2 or more interconnected food chains, food web. The study of the relationships between plants, animals, and the environment, it is called ecology. All that surrounds and affects the life of an organism, it is an environment. Now stumble, first one is environment, second is biosphere, third is ecosystem, and the fourth is decomposer, right? Now here we can see the exercise of the another book also. I am discussing it here. You see multiple choice questions here also. Study of interaction between biotic and abiotic components of an environment, it is called ecosystem, ecology, symbiosis, or forest. It is ecology. Producers of an ecosystem are also known as autotrophs. Scavengers are also known as cleaners. Scavengers are also known as cleaners. Association where a stronger animal attacks a weaker one, it is called predation. What it is called? Predation. Which of the following not an abiotic component? Tree is not an abiotic. Soil, air, and temperature, they are all abiotic components. I hope it's clear. Now here, see, true and false. An ecosystem is always a huge area. No, ecosystem can be a small area also. It is not always a huge area. So the statement is false. Now, carnivores are also known as primary consumers. It is true. Carnivores are also known as, no, it is a false. Carnivores, they are secondary, they are not primary consumers. Comes herbivores. Carnivores, they are secondary consumers. So the statement is false. It is not true, it is false. Decomposers eat dead animals for food. Decomposers eat dead animals for food. I hope It is the false statement because it decomposers eat dead and decayed organic matter. Dead animals or food means it's okay. It is a true, not a false. Dead animals, decomposers eat dead animals for food. It is true, not false. In a pyramid of numbers, consumers forms the base of the pyramid. Consumers know. Producers forms the base of the pyramid. Consumers do not forms the base of a pyramid. Interaction between organisms in a community can be beneficial, harmful, or neutral. Yes, it is true that it can be beneficial, harmful, or neutral also. Now, ecosystems depend upon solar energy as its energy source. Living component of an ecosystem are known as biotic component. All food chains begin with producers or the green plant, both are known as producer. Association where organisms live together and benefit from each other is called symbiosis. Dead organic matter which is rich in nutrients, it is called humus. Autotrophs, producers. Heterotrophs, consumers. Primary consumer, herbivore. Cleaners, scavengers. Network of many food chain, food web. We have already discussed here. Soil, air, sunlight, components in an ecosystem. They are all abiotic. Example of scavenger, vulture, hawk, eagle, they are all scavengers. Shows the feeding relationship between different organisms. It is the food chain. Tick on a dog are considered to be parasite because ticks take the food from the dog, so it is a parasite. Animals are also known as fauna. Now here the diagram you see, the given diagram, what does it represent? Given diagram, it is pyramid of numbers. What is the given figure called and what it represents? It represents, given figure is a pyramid, and what it represents? It is a pyramid of numbers. Now, which organisms are at the base level? They are the base level, they are the producers. Large number present at the base, they are the producers which are large in number. Give an example of the food chain. Grass, grass is eaten by deer, deer is eaten by the lion. Now give reasons. Decomposers help in keeping the environment clean. Decomposers help in keeping the environment clean because they clean the environment, they feed on dead and decayed organic matter, and they help in mineral recycling. So they are the environmental cleaners. Cuscuta plant is considered to be a parasite because it derives its nutrition from the dead and decayed green plants. They stem, they derive their nutrition. Crows are omnivore. Crows are omnivore because they feed on both. Crows, they feed on both herb, plants also, flesh also. There is a stepwise decline of energy at each level in a food chain. There is a decline of energy at each level in a food chain because as we move up, the energy level goes on decay. Here, when producers, the energy passes to the herbivores, 90% is lost, only 10% is transferred. And from here, herbivores to carnivores, then here also 10% is lost, 90% is lost, only 1% is transferred. So as we move up stepwise, the energy goes on decreasing, declination in the energy. Forest is a self-sustaining natural ecosystem because in the forest, variety of plants and animals lives in close association in the natural environment. So it is a self-sustaining ecosystem. Now differentiate biotic and abiotic components. Biotic, all living plants and animals. Abiotic, that air, sunlight, soil, water, etc. There comes there. Flora and fauna. Fauna means animals present in the forest. Flora, plant vegetation. The primary consumer and secondary consumers. Primary consumers are herbivores which feed directly on the plant. Secondary consumers, they are the carnivores which feed on herbivores. Decomposers, we have already discussed a lot of time. Dead and decayed organic matter, the scavengers, they are the larger, bigger animals. They also feed on the flesh of the other animal. Symbiosis, close association between the two organisms where both are benefited by each other. Parasites, they derive the nutrition from the host. One is benefited and one it gives the nutrition and it goes in the loss. Define ecosystem, we have already a basic components of the ecosystem. We have already done biotic, abiotic, biotic plants and animals, abiotic, sunlight, soil, water, air, etc. Food chain, we have given example of food chain, we have discussed. Energy flow in the food chain, we have already discussed decline. Pyramid of numbers depict pyramid of numbers means producers are more in number, herbivores are less, carnivores are less, and the large carnivores are, they are more fewer than the ecosystem. I hope it is clear. Again, we will meet in the next video